This is the Thayer Podcast for Thursday, February 8th, 2024. My little sister Mandy and I were chewing the fat the other day about nothing in particular when she suggested I write an opinion piece about transgenderism. I said in so many words, no. I try to write fact into my stuff, not opinion, so I couldn't do that for any number of reasons. But they got my juices going and the conversation turned biblical. For some reason, we ended up talking about the first book of the Bible, Genesis, and discussed how to rewrite it. Remember a while back, Mandy, the retired school teacher, didn't know what parse meant? Well, this time it was concatenated, which is 5 syllables that mean shortened. I used concatenated to describe the Bible's version of Genesis, the beginning. For instance, in junior high and high school English, we are taught to begin a paragraph with a statement, expand on it, and end with a short restatement. If you remove all but the paragraph's first sentence, you've concatenated it. To me, Genesis seems like a very concatenated version of how the world was created. So why not write about it? No, really. Let's start with an example. Once upon a time, there was this hugely enormous being existing somewhere in the middle of nowhere in particular. It decided to call itself God because it was all alone in the middle of nothing and needed to identify itself somehow. Well, one thing led to another, and God was still all alone in the middle of nothing, nowhere in particular. Now try to imagine nothing. Is it black? No, that's something. Same goes for white. Hey, what about clear? No, you can see something through clear. So that became God's first great ageless challenge. How do you create something out of nothing? Since he was the only one around, he decided that he could call himself the Supreme Being. After all, there was only one of him and nobody else was around to talk him out of it. So, being the all-knowing, all-omniscient, most excellent and only Supreme Being, he decided to try to make something out of nothing. Now look at it this way. If you were all alone in the middle of nowhere and you had no way of going somewhere, wouldn't you busy yourself trying to figure out how to make something happen that would somehow change your situation? So, put yourself in God's shoes. Oh dear, that couldn't happen. Shoes hadn't been invented yet. It appears as though God, the Supreme Being, the Almighty, the big guy, if you will, found himself in some kind of a pickle. So, that's how you call your unconcatenated version of in the beginning, God. We'll get to the created part later, if it pleases you. In the meantime, improvise, adapt, overcome. Semper Fi.